perfeitamente encaixar. Well, that's enough. It's enough. That is enough. Well, I'm in a better mood today, aren't I? Because everything's just much better right now. My plant is going through a transition right now, and I'm really sorry about it. You can only see half of it, but the other half is kind of like dry. And I don't mean for it to get dry. I don't know what to say about it, because I didn't do anything wrong. Well, obviously I did something wrong, but I don't know what to say. Like, does it belong outside? My mum reckons yes. Does it belong inside? I don't know. So now I put it outside, and then we water it all the time, but for some reason it's just unhappy. So I don't know what else to do about it. Apart from say, I love you. I love you, plants. Yes, I do. I used to talk to my hair like that, and I grew my hair like really, really long. It was like really, really beautiful, and people always used to say to me, what's your secret? And I say, I talk to my hair. And then like I always get the same like look. Obviously I always get the same look with all things that ever comes out of my mouth. That's not true actually, but maybe it is, but maybe it's not. Anyway, hello there. Would you like to chill out and listen? I do these conversations to like inspire conversations. No, actually I do it to inspire change. That's why I do it. I am trying to change the world. So here I am with my Mickey Mouse top. I have to tell you a secret before I carry on, and I've been telling everybody this secret, so it's not really a secret, is it, when you just tell the whole world? But it is a secret because you don't know about it yet. So I overpaid my student loan because I went to university, and then I got a job after university, and then they started charging me for my student loan, and then it ended up being that they shouldn't have been charging me because of something. And then my job was like, if I was you, I'd call them to see if you're owed a refund. And I was like, ka-ching! And I've been like really depressed with like all of my clothes for a long time, and I was like, you know, I just wish that I could just like throw everything away and just start again. And I know that a lot of people might think like that, right? And I've got like maybe like 5 pieces. It ended up being more than 5 pieces. I have like 5 pieces that I love, and then like literally the hundreds of other things I just hate them all, right? And then I have savings and stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna take, you know, chunk of my savings out and just like replace all of the items in my wardrobe. Well, it turned out that I didn't need to take it out of my savings because I was owed a refund, and I got the refund. It was actually a very positive time. And when I say positive, it was just like one of them things that made me cry. I say it was positive, but it was just like, you know, I was going through all of those like bad moments, and then that was just like, there is hope, there is love out there, this is perfect. And then I cried, and then I just had all this money and I spent it all. I spent every single penny of it. I actually spent more than every single penny of it. Meaning I went on into my own money when I replaced everything. But I didn't just replace my stuff, I replaced my son's stuff as well. Because you know, that's what mothers do. They can't just think of themselves, they've got to think of the children. I don't know if you could tell, but I am in a much better mood. I feel very much happy. I've been speaking to an old friend of mine. We connected again, and it's just been nice to have somebody to speak to and not to just be alone. Which leads me to the subject today. I need to like turn it down a notch. I think that naturally sometimes, yeah, you get natural quiet people and then you get naturally loud people. And that's why I always try to explain to people, yeah, I'm an introvert, but I'm an extrovert. And then it's like, we'll pick one. It's like, I really can't, because like I want to be alone, and I get really uncomfortable and there's like lots of people and I just want to like hide and be alone. But then I'm loud, I'm talkative, and when it's time to lead, I'll be the leader in the middle of that crowd. I'll be like, hello there, and I'll get everybody's attention, and I'll be like, right, like, you know. But if I'm not being a leader, I just want to be alone. And then sometimes I don't know how to be quiet. So I'm trying to like learn to be quiet for the sake of others who listen to me. Because my niece, she is naturally loud, and you should hear her like when she's naturally speaking, she's like shouting. I said, why are you shouting? And to her, she's not shouting. Bless her little soul. Anyway, I have to tell you a story before I carry on talking about support. That is so important. Oh my gosh, it's so important. And I'm really embarrassed at how important it is. And I know that I've said it, yeah, in my past videos, but today I'm going to like zoom into it, right? Just because I think that people really need to hear it. Because I, for sure, like I said, was one of those people. I want to be alone. I don't need friends. I don't need boyfriends. I don't need nothing. I might need a dog, and I might need my son, and then I might need one friend, but I didn't know that I needed those things. And I just like, I'm self-sufficient. Like I do everything by myself. I fix things, I cook things, I take care of things, I do everything by myself. And I was like, why do I need other people? I don't, I'm self-sufficient. Oh, well, it turned out that I was very, very, very wrong. And I'm here to talk about it in depth. But first, let me tell you a story. So I went to this clinic thing to see a doctor thing. Clinic. You only ever use the word clinic for these specific things. So, Nayna, what did you do? I will not be sharing that right now. Anyway, I went to the clinic. I need to stop using that word clinic. I went to the doctors. Concentrate. I went to the doctors, and then she said to me, no, what? I went to the doctors, and like, I was quite sad yesterday, and I'm very, very happy today. But I think that today, yeah, compared to yesterday, is because like I feel like I have like different options than what I did yesterday. Because yesterday my brain was like really closed and like, oh, I need to do it this way and I hate doing it this way. And then today it's like, well, actually, I don't need to do it that way. I can just do it this way. And this way just seems much better. I'm gonna do it that way. And I deserve to do it that way. I'm just gonna do it that way. I'm gonna stop being scared of doing it that way and stop forcing myself to do it this way, because I don't like doing it that way. And then the freedom of doing it that way, it's just made me like so happy, and it's just like opened up a whole, and obviously talking to this friend that I said that I've been speaking to has just like really helped me. But I was very sad yesterday. So she was talking to me, this doctor, and then she said to me, have you had a smear test done? And I was like, no. And she said, why? And I said, because I don't really believe that I should. And then she said, what do you mean? And she was like really challenging me. And obviously I'm broken. I have been broken. So I'm not going to fight people and argue with them or debate with them, because like my energy is just like dead on the floor. And I don't have the energy to fight with people. Anyway, so then I'm just answering her like, okay, well, I don't think that I should, you know, I don't really trust in science. I think that everything is quite negative, and I don't want to put negativity more than it already has into my body. And I feel like doing a smear test is just that. And then plus, like, if you find something in the smear test, I'm not going to follow what you tell me to do anyway, because I don't believe in science and in that respect. And or I have loads of questions and doubts about it and blah, 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 blah. No, I'm sorry if I'm offending people who believe in that stuff, yeah, but whatever, I don't. And there's reasons for that, but nobody's asking me, can you explain that? So I don't, right? Anyway, so she's challenging me, and then she asked me a direct question, so I answered her directly, and I said, I'm having a problem with God. Like, I don't know what God is. She assumed that when I said God, yeah, that I was a Christian. Obviously, that's where she got it wrong, right? And she said, well, I'm a Christian myself, and you know, God can only help those who help themselves. I didn't have the energy to argue with her. Plus, she was doing something for me, and I didn't want to rub her the wrong way, so I just allowed her to speak. And then she started preaching to me, and she started to believe that God was calling upon her to preach to me about these things. And then she was just basically saying that, you know, it's not my place to question God. And I know I've said this already, that that's what religious people believe in anyway, I know that. But, you know, just to have somebody in front of me. And she was saying, you know, it's not my place to question God. And actually, I think I offended her by saying that I am questioning God. It's not my place to question God. You know, God is almighty and we are humans. And we can't fathom God. So it's not our place to question God. We just have to get on with it and do our best, and then God will take care of the rest, right? And like I said, she's helping me out. I want this thing sorted, and I don't really want to rub these doctors up the wrong way, and then they refuse to do it, because, you know, some people are like that in life, and they're just like, well, I ain't gonna help you because I don't like you. And I know that's unfair, but people really do that, right? So I was just like, fine, let me just listen to this woman. Anyway, and then she said something very interesting, that later on, I think that if people talk to me like that in future, I'm going to be ready with this conversation. That I wasn't ready with her, because she was saying to me that, you know, she's blessed. God has blessed her because she's just doing her best, and she's not questioning God. She's doing her best, and God has blessed her because of that. Now, this woman looked very, very down. Her eyes were heavy. Her tone was heavy. Her body posture was heavy. And in what world do you call that blessed? And in what world do you call that happy when you literally look like you've been beaten down by the world? And I should have asked her that. I should have really challenged her back, because she kept going on and on. I was like, how can I stop this woman from talking? Because I don't want her to carry on talking, because this is just going nowhere, right? And then I said to her, sorry, I think you misunderstood me. When I say God, I didn't mean it in a religious sense. I meant it in a spiritual sense. She just turned her head and she just started asking me questions about the thing and stuff that I went there for in the first place. And I think she felt a bit embarrassed that she went on and on and on, and she assumed that I was Christian, only to find out that actually that's not even what I meant in the first place. Point is that I'm making here is that she was so adamant in what she was saying, and she was saying that she was happy, yet everything about her was unhappy. It was the opposite. It looked depressed, it looked depleted. You know, her eyes were heavy, her tone was heavy. She was definitely not happy. Oh no! And maybe these are the debates that we have in life, right? How do you know somebody's happy? Like, do they need to be like chirpy, like to be happy? Not everybody's like you, Nayna. But I bet you, if you have conversations with people and you ask them and stuff, and then like when something makes them like super happy, you just notice it in their character. Like their body changes, they like kind of sit upright, and then they kind of like and then they talk a bit faster, and then somebody will literally make a comment and say, oh, you're happy today, and then the reply to that would be, yeah, because like this happened and that happened. So I will argue, I think I do know what happiness looks like, and that woman was not happy. And it just makes me really question why these people allow this. And then I kind of did cheekily answer her back, and I think that this is why she backed off, because I said to her, because she said to me, well, what gave you the idea that we're all one? What gave you the idea that you're one with God? And she was being very challenging, inappropriately challenging, which I don't mind, because a lot of people are inappropriate and I'm fine with that. She was really overstepping her boundary and her position, because she's not a psychiatrist. That's not where she trained at. And here she was trying to give me therapy through her words. And she said, well, what gave you the idea that God is one with you? You know, in a very she said it in a very like demeaning way to my belief. And then I said to her, well, the same way that you believe that in the God that you believe in, your parents taught you, and so you believed it. My parents taught me that, and I believed it. That's exactly it. I didn't say it like that. I said it in a very simple way, because obviously I'm bad at paraphrasing. And then she didn't really answer that, because that's exactly it. What makes you right? What makes your God right? What makes your Bible right? What makes anything that you say right exactly the same as mine? That's what makes me right. I was taught exactly like you, through information from others, and then it made sense to me, and then I adapted it just like you did. I'm learning now that that's wrong, and we should all just come together and find one belief. I really don't want 10 beliefs in the world. I'm sorry. I know that other people agree with that, but I don't. I think that we should all come together and come in truth rather than in theory. We should have truth. Anyways, that was my little story, and really, do I have a conclusion to that story? I just think here that we deserve to be happy. And I think that if I get to choose what makes me happy, and that somehow makes God angry, like, oh, you don't know, you can't choose because first of all, that type of behavior is mirroring the behavior of the earth and people on the earth. Like, you know, like when your boss is like, I get to tell you what to do. So then basically you've put the behavior of the earth, and then you've put it onto God, and then of what God is, and then now you're teaching everybody to look at God in that way. And then now you've got a bunch of religious people teaching other people that God is that way based on the characteristics of what you find on earth. And I find that very, very, very silly. And so I will not be listening to it, and instead I'll be challenging it and saying, what makes you happy? You deserve to be happy. And I'm sure that a loving, beautiful creator, whatever you want to call it, wants happiness. Yeah? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Furthermore, where is God anyway? Because I've asked I've asked for all sorts of things, and I've been insulting in all sorts of ways, and I've been kind in all sorts of ways. I've just been through all the spectrum of everything, and still there is silence. There is zero communication. And I can't explain that. I can't explain that. And it was years and years of, like, let's say, service to God. There was years of let's say, disrespecting God. There's been a spectrum of all things, and God is nowhere to be found. And I still can't explain that. But today that doesn't make me sad, because today I am finding comfort in the support of others. And it's almost like, and I don't like this theory because it's causing problems, right? But It's almost like God just broke itself into little pieces, and then the little pieces just went everywhere, and then for God to come back together as one piece, and basically I'm one of the little pieces, you're one of the little pieces, this table's one of the little pieces, this thing is one of the little pieces, and we can keep dividing into little pieces, that's fine. But for us to know what God is, and for us to know the truth of life, we have to come back together and fit like a puzzle into the one God again. And I think that I'm starting to suspect that that's what's happened here, because the only comfort that I'm finding, because I was sedating myself throughout this whole process here of this depression, of like 12 years of depression, I was sedating myself, I was self-medicating, right? And then I forced myself to try and quit, and then I kept going back into it when I tried to quit, because I was just like, uh-oh, this is not good. And then this time around I was like, you know what, I'm gonna quit, and either I'm gonna die or I'm gonna get through this. I'm not doing this anymore. And then I realized that I'm very, 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 very depressed. But in the process of that, the only thing that I'm finding that I have is not my thoughts about God, it's not my thoughts about life, it's not nothing to do with my thoughts, it's literally the pieces that we all have coming together and supporting each other. Basically, the support that I was asking God to give to me seems to only be available through these pieces that are here, meaning other humans. And it's just made a world of a difference. Yeah, so, what am I saying? Basically, the way I'm feeling now, I'm feeling like uplifted, like my energy is vibrating again. My energy is like vibrating. I don't know how else to say that, because my energy was just like dead. My brain was dead, and now my energy is vibrating. Why? Because I started communicating with somebody who cared about me and was supporting me. And that obviously brings up questions like, do you not have family? Like, what are the people around you been doing for the past 2 years? I don't know why that hasn't felt like support. And obviously there's probably a reason why, because it probably wasn't supportive. And now I feel much better because I feel supported. So then I'm just seeing how important it is to actually have others to like talk to and return talking to, and have ideas exchanged in similar ways, in similar vibrations, similar ideas, like exchanging. And if you don't have that, life becomes like very non-moving, confusing, even more sad. I know that this is not like concluding to what support is, because I'm not really concluding what support is, am I? So let me try and do that. Because support to me, yeah, means, yeah, support, yeah. Okay, because basically, yeah, okay, I got it, yeah. Sometimes I need to take a little bit of a breather to get it, yeah. I got it. Support means, yeah, that somebody outside of you agrees with your point of view. They agree that you have a right to feel the way you feel, and they are exchanging these conversations with you about that. And so then you feel like somebody else is on the same boat as you. So then actually you don't feel alone. And I feel that that means, and that equals support. So it's not even that they have the answers for you, or they have a miracle that saves your life, but actually that you just don't feel alone. And I guess because of how my life happened for the past 2 years, I have felt alone. And I think that feeling alone doesn't necessarily mean that you don't want to be alone, because you can have like literally one friend versus having 10 friends. That one friend makes you feel like you're not alone. And if you have that one friend that makes you feel like you're not alone, meaning they agree with your point of view, they think that you have every right, like all the things that I just said. If you have one of those people in your life, then you have support. And I literally had zero, because my son is too young to support my viewpoints, because my viewpoints are very detailed and intricate and complicated and kind of deep, and his brain, bless him, is much more shallow than mine at his age, because he's 12 years old. So he can't be that sense of support. And actually sometimes he's able to do it. Like, for example, I came home yesterday, I told him about the clinic lady, and as I was speaking, he literally sat up like this and he was like, she was gaslighting you. Oops. I was like, what? What's gaslighting? And he literally like put his hands together like this, like it made him, I've not really seen him act like that before. And he says, she was gaslighting you. And I was like, okay. And then he started shaking his head like, and I think he said it about 4 different times in 4 different ways. I'm gonna ask him actually if it upset him that she was gaslighting me, or if he was just finally having an example of a gaslighting situation, because maybe he'd heard of it but he's never seen it in action. And I was like, oh, okay. And then this morning I decided to like Google what gaslighting meant, because he explained it to me, and I was like, yeah, she definitely did do that. Anyway, so I like where I got to the support conclusion, yeah, because it isn't necessarily about answers, is it? It's literally about feeling like somebody understands you. And then when you have that conversation with that person, your exchange of information, exchange of ideas, like, yeah, because then and then you hear them say it, and then you get like this like aha moment of like, wait, maybe it's and then you share it back, and then they're like, oh wait, maybe and then like you guys lift each other up and up and up. And if you're in a low place, you eventually lift each other up out of like this bad place. And if you're in already a good place, then you're just gonna carry on just like getting bigger and bigger in your joyous state. So I think that that's what support is. Well, I'm happy with just one support, and if I had more than one support, how would I feel? I guess I'd feel blessed. I guess that would be my true definition of feeling blessed. Is like if I have like 10 people who are like this one person, and all 10 of them make me feel like I'm not alone, and that we're literally thinking the same way and agreeing with each other, and I have 10 of those people, like damn. And actually maybe that's what it takes to start a movement, because I'm literally feeling like me and this person that are speaking, I'm literally feeling like she's feeding me her energy, and I'm feeding me my energy to her, and we're lifting each other like into a bigger place. So if we had 10 of those people doing that, you could imagine maybe the energy is bigger. And I'm just wondering why that hasn't happened already. And I'm assuming it's because of all these distractions of having a job and being scared of losing your job, and then being in a routine of having a job, and basically the way that this world is made is a massive barrier as to probably why we don't connect more with people that are similar to us and that think in the same way. And I guess that's why religion is still so strong, because that's exactly what they are. They agree with each other, they connect with each other, and they go to worship together in the same place, connecting with each other. And because I don't belong in no particular group like that, that's probably why I've been alone, because my type of group is actually not very common, which is saying something completely different than what it has been said so far, which is we're supposed to be joyous whenever we choose to. We're not supposed to be stuck in jobs. We're not supposed to be angry with each other. We're supposed to come together to form a togetherness in this whole entire world. So okay, that's me done for today. I hope you've enjoyed this chit chat in my chit chat corner. I don't even know where that name came from, Nayna's chat corner. I'm saying my name like way too much lately. I don't know why. I've never used to say my name, and now it's just like Nayna. I'm gonna stop saying that name. Why do I have a problem with saying my name? Why is that? I think it sounds big-headed. But why would it sound big-headed? Like, that's my name, so why is it big-headed? Anyway, I'm gonna go, otherwise I'm gonna keep talking forever, and obviously we don't have forever to listen to videos, do we? So I'm gonna stop there. Have a good evening, and I'll see you next time. Bye. 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 Bye.